Hello everyone, my name is Ayush Chauhan from IT first semester, and this self-introspection is a reflection of my thoughts, behaviors, strengths and areas of improvement. This task given by Dr. Anup Tiwari sir has allowed me to look within myself and understand what I am today and what I want to become. Through this introspection, I aim to gain clarity and learn from my experiences and develop qualities that will help me grow professionally and personally. What matters most in my life is becoming a better version of myself every single day. I believe that growth doesn't always come from easy or comfortable situations. It often comes from challenges, failures, or moments where we were forced to reflect. I value experiences that teach me something, even if they test me. Improving my mindset, my discipline, and my emotional strength is something I focus on immediately. The second thing that matters to me is the people I share my life with. My family, my friends, mentors, and even people who crossed paths with me briefly but left an impact. I deeply value trust, respect, and genuine connection. I have learned that the right people don't just support you, they help you see the best of yourself, especially when you fail to see it. I want to lead a life that is not just successful but meaningful. A life where I contribute, where I inspire others the way many have inspired me. Success feels incomplete if it cannot be shared, and achievements feel empty if they cost your peace or values. So, what matters most to me is growth, meaningful relationship, staying true to the person I want to become, not just in front of others, but also when no one is watching. Who I am is something that I still discovering. But what I know today is I am a person shaped by my experiences, good ones that made me confident and tough moments that made me humble. I am someone who believes that identity is not a label, a title or a role we play. It is a sum of our choices, the values we stand by, and the mindset we carry through our life. At my core, I am curious. I want to know why things happen, why people behave the way they do, and why certain moments stay with us. That curiosity pushes me to observe, learn, question, and evolve. I am not perfect, but I am willing to improve. I make mistakes, but I take responsibility. I fall, but I rise. And I believe that resilience is one of the most honest part of who I am. I am also someone who values kindness even when it goes unnoticed. I have learned that people rarely remember what we said, but they always remember how we made them feel. I appreciate simplicity, honesty, and effort more than being liked. I want to be understood more than success, I want purpose. Who I am is a work in progress, not defined by where I come from, but by where I am going. I am a person learning to trust the journey, to have patience with myself, and believe that I am enough while still striving to become even better. I think that is who I truly am, is someone growing, learning, and becoming. Am I using my time wisely? This is a question I ask myself too, because time is the only thing we can never get back. I believe I am learning to use my time more wisely than before, even if I am not perfect at it yet. I have realized that using time wisely doesn't always mean being busy. It means being intentional. It means knowing when to push yourself and when to slow down. It means choosing activities that add value to who you are becoming. There were days when I spent a lot of time on things that didn't help me grow. Distractions, overthinking, or worrying about things I couldn't control. But the difference now is awareness. I am more conscious about where my attention goes. I try to invest time in learning, improving myself, and building skills that will matter in the future. I have started replacing comparison with self improvement, noise with focus, and passive scrolling with meaningful actions. I also believe that spending time with family, friends, and with myself is not wasted, it's necessary. Rest is not laziness. Sometimes resting is what helping us come back stronger. Using time wisely also means protecting my mental peace and knowing that productivity and happiness are not enemies. They can coexist. So I am using my time wisely, I would say I am getting better at it every day. I am learning what deserves my time and what does not. I may not have mastered it, but I am more intentional, more aware, and more committed to make every moment count. When I think what I am truly scared of, it's not something like heights, darkness, or spiders. My real fear is the possibility of not living up to my potential. The fear of looking back one day and realizing I could have done more, becoming more, or given more, but I didn't. I am scared of wasting opportunities in simply because I hesitated or doubted myself. I am also scared of losing the people who matter to me, not just physically but emotionally. As we grow, people change, priorities shift, and life takes us in different directions. The thought of drifting away from people who saved me or supported me is something that scares me because relationships are the big part of who we are. Another fear I carry is the fear of failure, but not in dramatic sense. It's a quiet fear of disappointing myself, the fear of trying hard and still not succeeding. However, I am learning that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Still, the fear exists, and maybe that fear that keeps me motivated. But perhaps the biggest fear is losing myself by trying to fit into expectation. The fear of forgetting who I am just to please who others want to me to be. I don't want to lose my authenticity along the way. So, yes, I am scared, but I think fear is not always negative. Sometimes fear becomes a reminder of what matters the most. It pushes us, shapes us, and keeps us grounded. My fear don't hold me back. They guide me, they help me move forward more consciously. When I ask myself, the honest answer is yes, I am. I think all of us hold on to something longer than we should. Whether it's a memory, a fear, a mistake, a habit, or even a person. For me, I have held on to moments that hurt me, and I replayed them in my mind thinking I was learning from them, but sometimes I was only reopening the same wound. I have held on to expectations of how things should have been, how people should have acted, and how life should have turned out. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean the past never mattered. It simply means accepting that some chapters are meant to be learned from, not lived in. I am also learning to let go of the habit of comparing myself with others. Comparison steals joy. It blinds me from recognizing my own growth because I am too busy counting someone else's achievements instead of appreciating my own progress. Letting go is not easy, it's a process. It takes time, courage, and clarity. But I have realized that when you let go of what weigh you down, you make space for what truly belongs to you. You stop surviving and start living again. So, yes, I am holding on to things I need to let go of, but I am becoming more aware of what those things are. Our awareness is the first step. I am learning to release what I cannot change, forgive what still hurts, and move forward with more peace, more maturity, and more hope. This question has become a reminder for me, a reminder that time doesn't slow down just because I am hesitating. Many times in life, I have postponed things that thinking I will start when I am ready, or when the situation is perfect, or when I have more confidence. But I have realized that perfect timing is often just another name for fear or doubt discussed as patience. If I keep waiting for the perfect moment, I might spend my entire life preparing instead of living. There will always be something missing. More clarity, more courage, more support, more growth doesn't happen before we start. Growth happens because we start. The first step is always uncomfortable, always uncertain, always scary, but it is the step that changes everything. When I ask myself, if not now, then when, I remind myself that later is not guaranteed. Opportunities are not permanent. Some doors don't stay open forever. Dreams lose meaning if all we do is dream and never act. Small efforts today are better than perfect plans tomorrow. This question pushes me to take responsibility for my future instead of waiting for someone or something to push me forward. It encourages me to risk, to learn, to explore, to fail if I need it. Because failure caused by trying is still better than regret caused by never trying at all. So, if not now, then when? It's not a pressure, it is permission. Permission to begin, to change, to improve, to chase what matters to me. There is no better than today, and no better moment than one in front of me. When I think whether I have done anything lately worth remembering, I realize that memorable moments are not always big achievements or dramatic victories. Sometimes they are small decisions, quiet improvements, or invisible battles that no one sees but still matters deeply. Recently, one thing that I have done that is worth remembering is that I showed up for myself. Even on days when motivation was low and doubts were high, I made the decision to focus on more on my personal growth. I read more, learn more, and surround by good influences. It may not look extraordinary from the outside, but choosing growth over comfort is something I am proud of. I have also taken steps to strengthen relationships that matters. Reaching out, apologizing when needed, appreciating people more openly, and trying to understand them instead of assuming. These small acts create memories, trust, and change. Another thing worth remembering is that I have started letting go of things that burden me, whether that's negativity, fear, or old version of myself that no longer fits who I am becoming. Choosing peace is not a passive act. Sometimes it is the bravest form of strength. I believe anything worth remembering doesn't need applause. It just needs impact. And if something I have done recently has made me kinder, calmer, wiser, or more disciplined, then yes, this is worth remembering. So I had said that I am doing things that matters. Maybe not loudly, maybe not perfectly, but surely in a way that saves my future. And if today's effort becomes tomorrow growth, these moments will be worth remembering. When I think deeply about this question, I truly believe that never trying is worse than failure. Failure is painful, yes. It can hurt our confidence, our pride, and our expectations. But failure teaches us, shapes us, and moves us closer to who are meant to be us. When we fail, at least we know that we tried, we learned something, and we grow from it. Never trying, on the other hand, leaves us nothing but questions. What if I had tried? What could have happened? How far would I have gone? These questions don't disappear. They stay with us quietly, becoming regret. Failure is temporary, but regret can last a lifetime. When we try and fail, we gain experience. When we don't try at all, we gain excuses. Failure gives us stories, lessons, and strength. Not trying gives us doubts, fear, and feeling of being stuck in the same place. We don't grow from staying safe. We grow from stepping out, exploring, and risking something. I have realized that success is not only about winning, it's about having the courage to start despite the possibility of losing. Most of the people we admire didn't succeed without setbacks. Their failures become part of their journey, not the end of it. So, yes, failing can be painful, but never trying is much worse. Failure says, I tried, never trying says, I was too afraid. And I don't want fear to make my decisions for me. I had rather try, fall, learn, and rise than spend years wondering what might have happened if I had just taken that first step. I felt happiest in my skin when I stopped trying to be the version of myself that everyone expected and start becoming the version that felt right to me. There was a time when I measured myself through other people's opinion, whether they approved, whether they noticed, whether they appreciated, but the moments that truly made me feel confident and comfortable were the ones where I listened to my inner voice and trusted it. I felt happiest in my skin when I achieved something I worked hard for. Not because others celebrated it, but because I knew how much effort, sacrifice, dedication it took. That quiet sense of pride, that moment where I could say to myself, I did it, made me feel genuinely alive. I also felt happiest in my skin in the simplest moment, laughing with the people I love, talking without filters, being real without fear of judgment. Those moments reminds me that the happiness doesn't always come from success or attention. It often comes from being understood, being respectful, and most importantly, being myself. I felt happiest in my skin when I embraced my flaws instead of hiding them. When I turned mistakes into lessons instead of regrets. When I stopped comparing my life with others and start valuing my own journey. That's when I realized confidence is not about thinking you are better, but about knowing you are enough. So I felt happiest in my skin not at a perfect moment, but at the moment I stopped trying to be perfect. When I allowed myself to grow at my pace, love myself despite my imperfections, and work forward with gratitude, that is when I truly felt at home being myself.